Hey, what's up guys? So we're here to go over all the new changes and new items, as well as changes to pre-existing items in Season 18 for Diablo 3. Now anyways, Season 18 does add a new legendary gem called the Legacy of Dreams. This is going to basically kind of give you the lawn effect, so while you have no set bonuses equipped, every legendary item you have equipped increases your damage by a certain integer that can go up to 99, and it's 3.75 multiplied throughout the entirety of it, and it will get bonus as doubled if you have ancient items. So like I said before, it's basically the Legacy of Nightmare set, but obviously with Season 17, which was the previous season, you just got this for free. It's basically enabling people to have that ability to have 2 extra ring slots. But you guys can kind of see and get maybe an idea of how much it can be increased to. But I've done the math for you guys, and it actually totals up to 742.5% if you max it out and then go ahead and double it. Basically what we did is we took the integer of the 3.75 and then multiplied that times 99, and then from there you get 371, but obviously it could be doubled if you happen to have the ancient items, which is again what you'd normally be doing for the lawn set anyway. So basically you have the lawn bonus because it basically it's double. The second integer where it reduces the damage taken by 2%, this is basically the same because it's 4% anyways with the lawn set. So pretty much it's having lawn. And in addition to that, we also have a bunch of newer items, and a lot of the stuff, they are technically older items, but they've changed. They're not very descriptive over here, but I do have the integers to share with you guys. So, for example, you guys can see stone gauntlets. These have already been in Diablo 3, but they've changed and added the secondary effect where getting attacked will slowly turn you into stone. Let's go ahead and show that off. Let's go ahead and actually swap to another character, and the reason why I want to swap to another character right here is to show you guys how certain things work, and I'm just going to do it on my barbarian because the barbarian actually has a new item as well. There's a new item for the witch doctor, so there are a few changes here and there with certain classes. Some of them are viable for like everything, like I said before, the gem. This is the only new item that's in the game. However, a lot of things have been changed, so basically they're new items as well. So this is only a normal difficulty, but the point is to show you how the stone gauntlets work. So how the stone gauntlets worked is, let's go ahead and equip them real quick. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss the Templar here, and I'll show you how it works. I'm not sure if people are going to be wanting to equip this, but how it works is getting attacked will slowly turn you into stone, which makes it so you're going to gain 50% more armor, but our movement speed is going to be reduced by 15%, and our attack speed is also going to be reduced. So I'm going to go ahead and take some damage here, and you can see it proccing. And maybe for some builds that stay perfectly still, they might try this, but the problem is that you lose attack speed. So I think a lot of people might not be interested in this, but there are diminishing returns on attack speed anyways. But you can see how slow you move. Interesting. But I'm not sure if people are going to be interested in actually running. Let's go ahead and go back to town so we can not move super slow. But in addition to that, there are a few new items. So that was the stone gauntlets. Next up, there is Echoing Fury. I actually have it already in here. I'm not sure if this isn't actually proccing correctly right now on the PTR, but basically what it does, it says slaying enemies engulfs the wielder into a frenzy. Killing enemies increases your attack speed by 15% and movement speed by 5%, and you can stack it up to 5 times, which can be quite good. You can see over here my attack speed is going to be 1.7, although there's going to be other things that technically change our attack speed. But we'll go ahead and just use everything here. You can see the attacks per second is 2.98. As I kill things, you will also see them being increased by the Gogok. But you can see it's kind of hard to gauge that integer, but I gave it to you anyways. It's 15%, and you can stack it up to 5 times. There's not anything here that indicates the Echoing Fury is proccing, but I figure I'd go ahead and mention that. So that is kind of cool. And this is not only for Barbarian, this can be for anyone. So that's kind of nice, up to 75% attack speed, but keep in mind there is diminishing returns on attack speed in the game. Now, in addition to that, there's also a new, well, it's a newer addition to the amulet, which is the Squirt's Necklace. So this got a secondary effect while not taking damage. Damage dealt is increased by up to 100%, and damage taken is increased by up to 50%. So obviously you're going to be dealing more damage, but taking more damage as well. I think this one has a lot of potential to be a viable thing, maybe instead of like a Hellfire Amulet, depending on, of course, what build you are playing. Now, in addition to that, there is two new two-handed axes. So these will only be viable for certain classes because some classes can't even equip these. But anyways, Mr. Schmidt's Reaver has a secondary that says reduce the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you slay an enemy. You can also cube not only Echoing Fury, but you can also cube this as well. So basically, if you want to maybe use this and maybe Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, you can actually get your cooldown reduction to be quite huge if you want to keep up, let's say, like Wrath of the Berserker, which is the next thing I actually want to talk about, because this is a new addition on the secondary of Mortix Brace. Wrath of the Berserker gains the effect of every rune, so that's kind of nice to be able to kind of keep it up 100% of the time. In addition to that, there's, like I said before, another change on the two-handed axes. There's the Executioner. This one can actually roll anywhere from 5 to 10%, but on a secondary it says attacks will slay enemies with less than 8% health, but it can roll anywhere from 5 to 10%. Obviously, having the higher integer is better. I'm not sure if people will be really utilizing this. Maybe if they don't happen to have a Necromancer with the ability to just kill enemies instantly once they reduce that specific threshold, maybe it could be nice. But that is also a new change. Now, in addition to all the stuff we just mentioned before, the Flavor of Time is also a new item here. And its secondary makes it so Pylon's effects last twice as long. I don't think we really need to showcase that off. That's just showcasing just it lasting twice as long. So that could be kind of interesting. And then in addition to that, there is a new thing with the Witch Doctor, which we'll go ahead and go over. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the Witch Doctor so you guys can then go ahead and see that. And then in addition to that, there is basically the effect of the Oculus Ring being able to be different procs. And I'll get into that in a second, but of course, I think everyone would rather see the new items first, so let's go ahead and do that. But this is also a new change on Smite. So it makes it so non-cleaving Gargantuans gain the effect of cleave and chilling effects of the Humanoid rune. So I have Big Stinker here, but basically it's going to give them the ability to cleave and allowing it to hit multiple enemies. For cold damage, I can just summon them. And you can see, well, in this instance, I happen to have the short man's finger, so it's going to have 3 smaller ones. But let's go ahead and dismiss this so you guys can kind of see. This is only on a normal difficulty, so it doesn't really matter too much. But really what it comes down to is they're going to be able to cleave. Not really anything too special. And they'll just probably melt everything because I have it set to normal difficulty. Alright, so now that we've shown off all of the new items, and of course that new legendary gem, let's go ahead and go right into the new sets. Even though they're technically sets that exist, again, these are of course the new changes. So the new sets are going to be Guild's, Kane's Destiny, as well as Captain Crimson's Trimmings. These are technically older set items, but they have newer abilities now. So let's go ahead and use Guilds real quick. Let's go to usable. So let's go to Helm. And so you can see Guilds has actually gotten a buff over here. Let me go ahead and actually have the notes on the side. But anyway, so all Guilds bonuses have been replaced. So now, as a 3-set bonus, the reduction on damage to elites has been doubled. It used to be 15% and is now 30% on the 3-piece. So that's a change with Guilds. And then with the Captain Crimsons, let's go ahead and go to the boots here and go to Captains. Okay, so this has also been changed. This one actually has a lot of potential here. So as the 2-set bonus, the reduction of cooldown used to be 10%, and then now is going to be 20%, and also reduces resource cost by 20% as well. And then the 3-set bonuses have been replaced. So damage dealt is increased by a percentage of your cooldown reduction, and then damage taken is reduced by a percentage of your cost reduction. So this could, again, be really cool for other builds to max out on CDR. And again, keep in mind, with the addition of the Messerschmitt's Reaver, you can actually get your cooldown reduction to be quite high in the game, upkeeping a lot of the really good abilities in the game. And then in addition to that, the last one over here is Canes. I'm going to go ahead and learn Canes so you guys can see this. So the Cane set bonus is actually going to be the 2 set bonus is changed from the 3 set bonus. So before you had to have 3 pieces of the set to get that bonus of the XP, so that's been changed. And then also the 3 set bonus, when a greater rift keystone drops, there's a 25% chance for an extra one to drop. And lastly over here, which is actually one of the other changes to this season, I'm going to go ahead and swap to like a lower level character here. And that is on this season. And if you guys want to play the PTR, it is up right now. But I went ahead, basically did all the work for you guys as far as just acquiring all the items. Jank meme is there, and there's also basically higher drop rate. But this is the main change with this season, because obviously there's a season of something, right? And they usually change something in this, which is going to be these Oculus ring areas. I'll show you guys what that looks like, but basically there is different circles that you can stand in, and you could proc these really easy. So this character is obviously only level 12, but you'll see that there's different zones that you can go into, and you can see this one makes it so skills are going to be instantly cooled down as soon as you walk into it. There's on the blue one, the resource costs are decreased, and there's a purple one, which eventually... It's random what they spawn, but basically, think of it like the Oculus ring. And this one over here, again, cooldown reduction is here. Let's see what we got over here for this mace. But yeah, you just have to hit an enemy and they'll proc. Oh, here's the purple one. So it's going to increase our damage. So basically, it's going to try to make you position yourself in other positions to, of course, get that bonus, like the resource cost reduction, or whatever the case may be. Let's go ahead and just kill this enemy here. And that pretty much just sums up the PTR as far as like what's new in this season. Let's go ahead and move out of the way. Since we just picked up some legendaries here, might as well go ahead and identify them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to check out all of the patch notes down below, I will leave a link, and you guys can go ahead and check it out. But anyways, it's called the Triune's Will is the seasonal buff over here. But pretty much that's all I wanted to cover in this video. But we'll go ahead and identify these just because, well, I enjoy seeing it when people get items in videos. So we got Moonlight Ward, we got Leoric's Crown, and then a Odin Sun. So that's kind of cool. It's going to increase our damage by quite a bit. But anyways, let me know, guys, what you think of Season 18 as far as these new changes, as far as the new items go. And are you guys looking forward to playing in Season 18? I honestly didn't play too much in Season 17, but I really like the idea of having Lon in basically a gem form, and then you free up 2 ring slots. But it is technically not as strong by, like, it was 7.5%. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's so close to where I would say, I don't know why they didn't just make it exactly the same. But at the end of the day, you do lose a gem slot. So some of the gems, I mean, that's like, 40%, extra damage, which can actually be pretty huge. But again, that frees up 2 extra ring slots that you would normally have covered for it. But anyways, like I said, let me know your thoughts on Season 18. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel here and would like to see more Diablo content, I usually do, just as a heads up, cover a lot of other Diablo stuff like Diablo 1, 2. But once in a while, when there is new content for Diablo 3, I will go ahead and cover it. But I do like that they're adding a bunch of changes to previous existing legendaries that we really didn't use too much in the game. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys. I'm signing out. Peace.